Have you ever noticed that some of the most popular baby names never show up in your area, while names lower on the list seem to be everywhere? There's a reason for that. Each city, state, and region has different demographics and style. I'm Sophie Keem. I'm the editor-in-chief of Nameberry, the world's largest baby name site, and in our latest study, we calculated the names that are disproportionately popular in each state. These are the names that are most likely to indicate that a baby was born in a particular state. For example, almost 80% of baby boys given this spelling of Yaakov were born in New York State in 2023. But let's go through the most disproportionately popular girl and boy name in each state. Ready? In Alabama, it's Lindley and Judson. In Alaska, Heather and Bjorn. In Arizona, Sedona and Ariel. In Arkansas, these specific spellings of Blakelyn and Coulter. In California, Jaylene for girls and Sky for boys. In Colorado, Coral and Torin. A matching pair in Connecticut, Shay and Seamus. In Delaware, Egypt for girls and Kyron for boys. Simone and Zymir in DC. And in Florida, Martina and Luca with 2 C's. In Georgia, Ansley for girls and Mozzie for boys. In Hawaii, McKenna and Makoa. Quincy for girls and Riggins for boys in Idaho. Nell and Demir in Illinois, Winry and Foster in Indiana, Letty and Carver in Iowa, this spelling of Elsie for girls and Ripley for boys in Kansas. We have Aniston and Branson in Kentucky, Briley and a very Frenchified Beau in Louisiana. Babies named Blessing and Alden are most likely to be from Maine. And in Maryland, Story with an I for girls and Mecca for boys. In Massachusetts, Tess for girls and Davi or Davy for boys. In Michigan, Malik and Hussein, which are Arabic names. 2 more Arabic names, Manha and Mahir in Minnesota. In Mississippi, Anne for girls, which is because it's usually used as a component of a double-barreled name, and Jamarian for boys. In Missouri, we have this spelling of Blake for girls and Ender for boys. In Montana, Linnea and Bridger. Jocelyn and Judd in Nebraska. Ever for girls and Jackson with an EN in Nevada, Carolyn and Callum with 1 L in New Hampshire, the Yiddish names Rahel and Avraham in New Jersey. We have Zia and Mariano in New Mexico. In New York, we have Malki and Yaakov, which are commonly used in New York City's Hasidic community. Merritt for girls and Smith for boys in North Carolina, and Lenny for girls and Gordon for boys in North Dakota. Araya and Vernon in Ohio, Rayleigh and Hayes in Oklahoma, Marion for girls and Alder for boys in Oregon, Susan and Elmer in Pennsylvania, and that's because those are really popular names within the Amish community. We have this spelling of Valerie and Haziel in Rhode Island, and these are most common among Spanish speakers. Naraya for girls and Knowledge for boys in South Carolina. In South Dakota, Remedy and Coy. In Tennessee, Dawson for girls and Canaan for boys. In Texas, the Spanish names Araceli and Rolando. In Utah, we have this spelling of Ivy and Canyon. In Vermont, Octavia and Wilder with a Y. In Virginia, the Arabic name Izal for girls and the Irish Kian for boys. In Washington State, we have Roslyn for girls and the Indian name Rayanch for boys. In West Virginia, Chevelle and Brent Lena for girls and Cashton for boys in Wisconsin. And finally, these particular spellings of Oakley and Coulter in Wyoming. Just a reminder that these are not the most popular names in each state, just the names that are disproportionately used there. And as always, if you thought this was interesting, check out our newsletter or our website.